I often say attack your passion, and I think T just doubled down on my messaging. Anything is possible if we just don't quit.
Yeah, so after meeting Miss T, I got introduced to our next entrepreneur, Tyler Garnett, one of the original founders of the Department of Sound. His whole mission is to inspire youth using music and entrepreneurship. Sound familiar? Well, this guy brings a wealth of information and industry contacts that can inspire the youth to do great things.
I look forward to hearing more.
Hi there, everybody. My name is Tyler Garnett. I am one of the original founders, as well as a member of the board of directors for Department of Sound. And our main goal with Department of Sound is to empower youth through music and entrepreneurship. The organization got started relatively not that long ago. We actually started a little over a year ago. We jumped straight into some pilot workshops in order to test and prove the concept. And we had a lot of success just right out the gate. We got a chance to partner with 2 community centers, one of them being the Macro Community Partnership and the other La Familia. It was just amazing because we basically set up as educators that would come into their after-school programs and teach workshops. Foundationally, I wanted each and every kid to understand that this is something that they can do. If it's something they want to do, they can do it. One of my favorite students, Ben, 4th grade, you know, we're talking about an 8-year-old, never made a beat before in his life, comes to the Department of Sound workshop and literally picks it up. And to me, that was good enough. It was like, okay, good. But then he came back next week and he had 50 original pieces of work. It's just incredible. And it's inspiring because we were able to do that in a very short amount of time. We wanted to prioritize putting in Sacramento because here you got people who are hungry for growth, you got people who are extremely talented, and people who are willing to give you their attention and willing to interact with you on that level that I think a lot of artists are starving for. Sacramento's got it going on right here. It's really been a collective team effort, and I feel like we've been able to make as much progress as we have strictly because we had such a solid group around us. And what I think it translates into for our students is increased opportunity going down the road in a number of ways, because our organization exists in order to create that opportunity on our own. We not only want students that can produce music, but we want to teach people about the different segments of an industry that you can occupy without being the front man or the front woman per se, right? Because we all know about Beyonce. But what we often don't think about is that Beyonce has a team of at least 10 to 15 to 20 people who are making it possible for Beyonce to be Beyonce. Every stage she steps on employs at least 50 to 100 people. We're talking about life skills that will translate into jobs down the road and opportunities down the road that I think are pretty amazing. You know, just based on the performance of the kids so far, there's a lot of indicators that what we're actually creating is a pipeline, and a pipeline into the creative economy, whether that exists here in Sacramento or if we're talking about on a national or global scale. Because of course we're living in the social media age, there's literally no limits on anything we do. As we continue to work with these community centers and go forward for our more extended workshops, that'll be instead of 4 weeks, they'll be 8 weeks, 12 weeks, or potentially even last the entire semester. I think sky's the limit.
So Tyler and his team are a little bit earlier in the game than T and her team. So I actually connected the 2 of them, along with some other innovators in the arts and entertainment space. And a really cool collaborative effort is starting to form.
Sounds like the ultimate 1 + 1 = 3 moment.
For us, we were still in our super early phases as an organization with Department of Sound, and we had gotten invited to a meeting at City Hall that Lewis put together, and I remember the first time we talked to Lewis, he said, hey, you gotta meet Miss T. You guys sound like you're doing something cool, you gotta meet Miss T. And so lo and behold, a couple weeks went by and we find ourselves all seated around a table discussing the future of Sacramento creative endeavors and what we can do to impact that. The very first moment I talked to Miss T, she came across with such a strong energy about the importance of not only the arts in Sacramento, but entrepreneurship related to the arts in Sacramento. And I think at that stage, it was really kind of pivotal for us because it helped us to refocus our organizational goals on not only the music, but these kids being able to make a creative lifestyle for themselves from using the music.
Yeah, and I think that once artists and leadership in the arts community start to develop the understanding that, okay, we can all keep doing these things in our individual lanes, but we're not going to have the communal impact that's needed now if we don't start having dialogue with each other and sharing things that have strengthened our programs, but also things that have crippled our programs. So when I heard about what they were doing over at Department of Sound, I was just like, okay, yeah, this is what we need. And we don't just need that as something for the kids to be able to have fun and make beats. I'm like, no, they're already making beats. They need to know how to make quality beats and not just make them. They need to know the right way to sell them. So the more we talked, the more it just became very clear to us and another partner that we have that's in the gaming community is like, you know what, guys, we gotta put all of our superpowers together and figure out the best way to come up with strategies collectively so that we can come in like a force and change the game. And so again, when we developed the IAC, which is the Innovative Arts Coalition, the goal is for us to collectively not just figure out strategies to do what we do, but figure out how to collide in what we're doing to bring mass impact, like a tidal wave across Sacramento, but makes a statement in Sacramento so that the nation stops and looks and sees what we're doing that's bringing value to our communities, and they'll adopt it.
Okay, we have to look at what is the impact overall on Sacramento. What is the impact? Our common driver is we see Sacramento as this fertile ground full of talent, full of potential, that's kind of in that perfect pre-boom state. And we're like, we need to create the community here so that our best talent doesn't feel like they have to go to Los Angeles or San Francisco or New York or Vancouver, Toronto. We need to have a place where they say, hey, Sacramento is where I'm from, and Sacramento is actually the place to be. Because now with technology, we don't need to be in these traditional hubs. With the power of YouTube, the power of social media, all these things, we can take things to a worldwide stage. But again, that's where I think the collaboration is super important, because the impact of music makers on their own might be this large. Dancers on this one might be this large. But when we all come together, it's like, wow, we could actually have the thriving community that I think we're all starving for, because and we can create it ourselves. And it's just waiting to be done, which I think is the exciting part.
And now is the time, and we're all over it.